Hello and welcome to the Creator's Garden. I am called Harpy, and today we will be drawing some Snapdragon Club characters. So, for those of you who are unaware, the Snapdragon Club series is my original webcomic series, which also has comic dubs available on the channel. So, I do have one sketch already prepped up, and we will probably be doing a couple that I have in mind, and if we have time, maybe some randomized ones from the chat. So without further ado, we'll go ahead and move on to the main camera. Alright. And as you can see, our first sketch that we're going to be working on is the protagonist of The Hunter's Tale, Crystal. It's been a while since I've drawn her, actually. Mostly because I've been working on the latest installment of the Snapdragon Club series, which is The Actress's Tale. I've been slowly getting through finalizing the sketches of some of the pages and continuing the pages. I'm basically at the point in that comic where I know where I want to go. It's just a matter of finalizing all the panel by panel details. And yeah, it takes a moment. But everything is still going along smoothly. And the first 5 pages of The Actress's Tale are available on Tumblr, as is the rest of the comic pages for the Snapdragon Club series. So, for those who are unaware, there are currently 3, I believe technically 4, comics within the Snapdragon Club series that are available. I will get into why it is technically 4 in a bit, but the ones that are available to read right now that are fully completed stories on their own, because the Snapdragon Club series is technically an anthology series, but they can also be put in chronological order. So the ones that are available are The Grand Opening, The Wanderer's Tale, and The Hunter's Tale. Those 3 are fully completed. The Grand Opening is complete, albeit the ending is a little bit rushed because it was like the first comic of the first tale of the series, in which I was still working out a few things about how I wanted the series to go and how I was going to portray everything. But it is complete. The Wanderer's Tale is a lot shorter. It was like only, 21 pages. And then The Hunter's Tale is also a very simple story, but it is complete, and it is roughly... It's actually, I think, 20 pages longer than The Grand Opening. So those are the 3 comics that are fully available to read on Tumblr, as well as they're available on the channel, although The Grand Opening is only available in like slideshow form. It's only The Wanderer's Tale and The Hunter's Tale that have proper comic dubs. But the 4th one that I mentioned that is technically also a part of the Snapdragon Club series is the Sanctus pilot. But it is currently paywalled behind my Patreon and Ko-fi. But, you know, if you simply like donate once or like a patron for a little bit, then you'll have access to it. You can read it and then you can hop out, you know. The Sanctus pilot is more in a mobile web comic format, so it's like really long pages, but it's like 20 long pages, I believe. And that is basically the precursor to everything that happens, more or less. But because it is context that is not necessary at the moment, you don't need to read it to understand what's going on in the other stories, and that is actually a thing that I try to do when I make the different tales that make up the Snapdragon Club series. Is that each tale is their own individual story, but they can be put together in a chronological order, and some things can inform like more details and more lore info into other things. But yeah. So as I mentioned before, uh, Crystal is the protagonist of the Hunter's Tale. In fact, she is the titular hunter. And her tale is a fairly simple one, so. And the comic dub is in 3 parts, and I did basically all the sound design myself. I got a lot of help from all the voice actors I asked to help me out and lend me their voices. They all did a wonderful job. And yeah, I can't say I'm the best at sound design or anything, but I don't know. Like, I've always liked like comic dubs and that sort of thing in general, just because it sounds satisfying. You know. Same with like animatics and all that, which is why you can find a couple of those types of things, including this one with Scotty and Piero that I did. It was like an animatic type of music video. And actually, speaking of Piero, I have been attempting to like practice redrawing him again, just because it's been a hot minute since I like drew him, and I kind of sometimes what happens when I haven't drawn a character for a while is that I kind of lose the muscle memory of like how to draw them. So I'm like trying to draw him again, and also trying to figure out like how to draw him in a way that I think suits his character. Because while technically the grand opening is very Puro focused, there is still like a decent chunk of his backstory that is not fully explored. And it is something that I plan to at least touch upon in a future comic when I go about doing another one that centers around someone else, but that is still going to be a ways away. here, but that's alright. But yeah, I am pretty proud of there being at least like 3 completed comics so far in the Snapdragon Club series. And I hope you guys, will let me know what you think. Because, feedback is always good. And if you ever want to see me, like, working on the comics in future streams, because once I get past a few iffy pages in my current comic, I will be resuming working on the comic pages on streams again. Just because, I like how they keep pressing me forward, But I do plan on getting back to those in the future, so that you guys can keep up to date with what's the latest with the Snapdragon Club series. And personally, I'd like to think that my series is more or less a feel-good series. Like, there will be attempts to delve into, like, some topics, but it's never gonna go really too deep. It's more just, like, kind of medium range-ish. I think it's good for, like, it's a good one for people who, like, just want to get invested in some cool characters and just want to see shenanigans. Maybe cool battles, maybe just cute, funny moments. With a little bit of, like, slight touches of, like, little bits of drama here and there. Basically for the people who are, like, already stressed and just, want some comfort characters. In fact, I think what I'll go ahead and do is go through the chat commands and see another character from the Snapdragon Club we can talk about. Let's see. It was the Sanctus command, that's right. And by the way, if you guys ever stop by during the stream, you two are welcome to use these chat commands whenever you're in chat. We got the fishing minigame in the corner. If you just want to do, you know, fish up some cute little fish. And there's also Borbs that you can summon. Because, you know, they like the enrichment. They like saying hi. And of course, the random Sanctus character generator would give me Dolly. She is the reason a lot of people are here. She's like, I think she's like Strong Bad from Homestar Runner. If you know, you know. Another wonderful series, by the way. But, yeah, for those who don't know, this is Dolly. And yes, I have stickers of a lot of my major Snapdragon Club characters. They're available in the Ko-fi shop. I don't usually, you know, do that spiel this early, but, you know, I like having these stickers on hand just because it's very easy for me to, like, bring them up as reference for those who are not familiar with my characters. But, yeah, so Dolly is also introduced in the Hunter's Tale. She has like a fairly minor role, but she is very adorable, and she is the toy fae. So what that means is that she is a fae who specializes in basically making toys, and that is how she decides to spread joy and happiness, is by giving out toys to people who she thinks are in need of a smile and could use something to cheer them up. And the Borb agrees. So while so far, Dolly has only really shown up in the Hunter's Tale and made a small cameo in the grand opening comic. I have like dabbled in the idea that she could return maybe in a smaller story, but she is not a main character. She is not a main character, but I know she is very much a popular one. And I guess while I'm here, I might as well also do a short spiel about myself, the PNG tuber. As for the people who are new, for the people who don't know, like, you know that this is supposedly the creator's garden, that I call myself Harpy. And what that means is that I am the last of a species called the Creators. And basically, my lore. Yes, I know. Shush. Basically, my lore is that I am the one who created Sanctus, the world that the Snapdragon Club takes place in. And I've basically took it upon myself to be its guardian of sorts. Just oversee things. I can't really, get myself too involved. It would just complicate things. But I try to just oversee generally what's going on and hope that certain hazards and threats do not approach the planet. And as for where the Creator's Garden is located in relation to Sanctus, the Creator's Garden is effectively a little floating asteroid type thing, very much smaller than Sanctus, and just kind of floating around the orbit, somewhat close by, but not too close by. And as for what threats, well, there is a thing called the Demon Realm that has demons, and is the reason why I'm the last of the Creators. So that is the lore for that. And if you're ever wondering if, the Creator's Garden or demons will ever make an appearance in the comics, I can't say that the Creator's Garden will, but demons have already made an appearance in the grand opening comic. So if you are interested in that, feel free to check it out. Once again, the Snapdragon Club grand opening comic is only available in slideshow form at the moment on the channel, but it is available for you to read on Tumblr. There are links on my channel page for those who are interested. But yes, the reason I decided to do Crystal to start off with is because recently we did some polls in the, I suppose in the community tab is also where they show up, but we did some polls and we did a second favorite Sanctus character tournament of sorts. And basically the final two that made it to the finals were Crystal and Bakshi. And just so you guys know, this is Bakshi, and he is one of the hosts of the Snapdragon Club. He is both in the grand opening as well as the Wanderer's Tale. In fact, all 4 hosts of the Snapdragon Club are both in the grand opening and the Wanderer's Tale, and they also make a return in the comic that I'm currently working on, The Actress's Tale. Grab Hopefully... Hopefully the music isn't too loud, but let's see. Alright. Hopefully the music is at a reasonable level, but we'll see. And... trying to remember what I color everything. Let's go ahead and start with her top right here. I think I might actually be running low on this color a little bit, which is alright. This one is basically the marker I use to dabble in my alcohol inks. And if there's like a mixture I mess up on, then I just sort of put them in here. I do look forward to like all the stories that I plan to tell. So outside of the Wanderer's Tale, the Hunter's Tale, and the Grand Opening, as well as the Actress's Tale. After the Actress's Tale, so far the only other comics I have planned after that are two possibilities. There's one that would focus on the Fae, and then there's one that would focus on the demons. So that's when I'm going to start hopefully getting into more, slightly more lore heavy stories. Stories that are like slightly more complicated than, say, what the Hunter's Tale is. But most of it hinges on my confidence as a storyteller, which I'm still learning a lot. trying my best to convey the things that I want, but you know, it's one thing to know what you want to go for. It's another thing to then try to convey that message and everything you want to someone else who does not, you know, is not on your wavelength. Like, how do you tell some random stranger about all these colorful, you know, characters and stories and worlds and have it make sense in a way that they can understand? And also, well, hold on one second. Excuse me. Anyways, I personally run under the idea that it is only solidified as like completely canon, set in stone, officially official, if it's within the actual work itself. So basically, everything that's within the comics, as soon as I put it in there, it's in. It's locked in. Final answer. And I feel I have to do that because I am constantly changing my mind otherwise. Because I will go, oh, this idea could work. Oh, but that's another good idea. Oh, but this could be an interesting angle. And I will go back and forth a lot. Like, there was, I think I can probably mention this. There was a draft of The Hunter's Tale where I initially had it where Crystal was supposed to be, like, moving into the town of Brazil, but she accidentally gets moved into Dolly's house because Dolly's house was presumed abandoned or something. Anyways, as much as I thought that angle was really cute and funny, I was just having a lot of trouble figuring out, okay, there's that, now where do I go from here? And I didn't know how to get from point A to point B. So, unfortunately, that idea had to be scrapped, and instead I started it a different way and came up with a different scenario as to how things played out. You know what I realized? I did not change this to live chat. I might have missed people. Because the thing about Top Chat is that it has a tendency to block out some people, and I don't know why it does that. But also, luckily, I think I fixed the issue where it was like trying to translate things that weren't supposed to be translatable. I had to go find that, I think, when creating the stream. Well, the Borb seem very active today. I think the color I want here is best. I think that would be closest to how I colored it in the comic. But yeah, if you're watching this after the fact, like if you're watching the VOD, I hope you let me know in the comments, like if you are a creative who has any OCs, whether they be fan characters or self-inserts or what have you. Because a lot of characters that I use for the Snapdragon Club series are reused and refurbished OCs. So it's like I take their base design and their base, character details and decide, alright, how can I fit these into my own original world? Because there's a decent amount of them that have like decent concepts that just seemed like a little too good just to be left as a fan character, you know? I do have some cheap watercolor paper as a backing, just so hopefully it's not leaking through to the other side, but also so that the ink doesn't try to spread around, because this is very thin paper and it is wont to do that if I'm not careful. I don't think I'll get too bogged down with the details of the background in this one, just because I do want to move on to another character, which I think I will probably be doing Bakshi next. Since I mentioned that we were doing polls in the community tab. Last I checked, Crystal and Bakshi were actually tied. But since during the last poll, I did both the first and second place winners anyways, I figured I like, why not? I'd go ahead and do both. And for those of you who are curious, since the last tournament was already done, this time around, or the last time we had a tournament, the two who won were Dolly and Scotty. So I already showed you guys Dolly, but for those who don't know, this is Scotty. Scotty Hijack is what they're officially called. But yeah, they are a mute hero of Sanctus, who is basically almost always accompanied by another fae known as Dreamwalker. And like his name suggests, he is a fae of dreams. He can walk into dreams, he can go into dreams, he can give dreams. Yeah, he's mostly associated with giving good dreams, so he's a pretty benevolent fae. He doesn't think he's that much of like a hero or a good guy or anything, but he does what he can. The problem with lighter colors sometimes is that I can't always tell if I've fully covered an area. But here's Crystal. With one of her favorite shields. Just a teensy bit, but that's still not too bad. I'm gonna keep these out for now and just put them back in when I'm ready to color. And hello, Alfie. Welcome, welcome. Glad you can make it. I hope you're doing well. Oh, thank you for the head pat. And also, hopefully, the music is not too loud, not too quiet. Music is perfect, awesome. Doing great. What about yourself? I'm doing fine as well. It is a little bit warm here in the Creator's Garden, but the Borbs and I are managing. A lot of the Borbs have been keeping cool by the ponds, and I, of course, have my milk tea provided by my lovely favorite Borb, Feather King. Yeah. He says hi too. Speaking of which, thank you, Feather King. But yes, just to catch you back up to speed, we are doing Snapdragon Club characters today, and the first one that we got done today is Crystal, the protagonist of The Hunter's Tale. And we were about to move on to drawing Vakshi, the captain of the Bee Guard. And just as a reminder, here's Vakshi. Where was I? Oh yeah, I was gonna grab a pencil, and I was also going to refill my lemon chiffon marker, because I think that one's running low. I'm gonna try and think about what sort of pose that I want to put Vakshi in. I'm thinking, generally speaking, I want to put him in a pose that's both indicative of his personality, but also just something that I probably don't draw him in a whole lot, perhaps. I'm trying to think how I haven't drawn him before. Because I've drawn him both in his Bee Guard uniform and his casual clothes, but I guess what I haven't drawn him yet a whole lot of is his Snapdragon Club uniform, which is something that unfortunately is not going to be seen, not even in the actress's tale, because I only came up with the uniforms for the club recently. Yeah, I could put him in his chef's uniform, actually. That sounds like a good idea. I will need to bring that out, though, because I have not committed that design to memory just yet. And actually, it's probably a good idea that I'm refilling the yellow lemon chiffon right now, since Bakshi does have a lot of yellow. Because he is a bee. And I guess it's still Pride Month, isn't it? So, fun fact about Bakshi, he is technically trans mask. And I usually have this rule where if it's not like stated in the official comics, then it's not solidified in stone. But I have made like one allusion to his trans mask status. And that is within the grand opening comic. It's very blink and you'll miss it, but it is there. And that's simply just because literally no one else cares. It's like the only ones who care that he's trans mask would be the people of his hive, just because they're not used to that type of thing. Like, they're not in a place socially and culturally where that's a thing. But they're also very much everyone in the hive, you know, you're in it for the group mentality. Very group oriented. So they know that Bakshi is very competent at his job, so it's like they have no reason to like disown him or anything. So they're just like, they're confused, but they're willing to go along with it. That's generally the mindset of his of the compatriots at the hive that he works with, his squad. I have not committed this outfit to memory, I'm going to need a reference. And the one good reference I have is this little trading card I made of him. I'm still pretty proud of this one, actually. I will keep this off to the side so I can see that. mid-flight Vakshi. I think I do. Because I don't know. I think I get more interesting poses that way when he's in mid-flight. Card looks wonderful, thank you. And hello, Ferox. Welcome, welcome. Glad you can make it. How's our favorite Harpy? I'm doing fairly well. So far we've done one character illustration. We've done Crystal from The Hunter's Tale. And for those who aren't aware, Ferox actually does a voice for one of the characters in the Hunter's Tale comic dub, so yeah. Give him all the props and love. He did a wonderful job on it. But yeah. We're working on Vakshi now. And I'm thinking because I've been attempting to play around with Piero's design, I think I might draw Piero next after I'm done drawing Vakshi. But if there's any like suggestions for Snapdragon Club characters in chat that you really want to see me draw before stream is over, then feel free to let me know. Also, good job catching that clownfish. She looks wonderful. Don't mean to sideline, but is music supposed to be playing? You don't hear anything. Oh. That's interesting. I asked earlier. Can you hear it now, or? Because I can still turn it up, if need be. Trying to think about where in the world his center of gravity would be in this pose. noticed that too? It was fine a moment ago? Interesting. Very interesting. But the audio is better now? Okay, that's good. Very fascinating. I don't know. Sometimes technology just be technology. I'm still baffled by that one time there was just absolute chaos with my microphone at one point and I had to unplug it and plug it back in. And I still do not understand what happened that day. I'm starting to remember why Vakshi is so complicated. The one troubling thing about drawing Vakshi is trying to remember the second pair of arms. Because if I'm not careful, I'll just go into a flow state and be like, oh wait, Vakshi seems to be missing something. As I am wont to do. Did I get all the details? Looks like I did. Yeah, I love his little chef outfit, and it looks really cute on him. I don't think I'll do too much for a background on this one. But I will do a quick little hive building in the background. So what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and ink this up, and then once I'm done inking, I will go ahead and go on break. Hello, Dope. Welcome, welcome. Glad you can make it. Sorry I've been busy, so just able to join. You're all good. I'm glad that you stopped by anyways, even if it's just for a short little while. But I hope by busy you mean a good busy. But if not, it's understandable. And he's carrying a plate of fluffy honeycomb waffles. once we go on break, the fishing minigame will still be up. So you guys are free to fish to your heart's content. Maybe one of you guys can finally beat the top scores on the leaderboard. But it's okay. Because every fishing is helping everyone else try and get all the achievements in the game. That's what I'm hoping for anyways. Because I'm not resetting the game until basically we get everything. Like the catalog, the achievements. As soon as the game has been 100%ed, then I'll refresh the game and we can start again new. But until then, you know, it's just a chill game. Something to do for fun. And not only will the fishing minigame still be around on break, but you can also still summon Borbs. They will happily chirp for you. Or angrily chirp for you. Depends on their mood. Alrighty. So that's the inking done, and we will now go on break. So I will see you guys in a bit. Alright, I am back. And hello, Kana. I'm glad you can make it to the stream. And just to give you a quick recap of what we've done so far. Hi back, I'm Kana. Goodness. Alright, alright. But just as a recap, we did one illustration of Crystal, the protagonist from The Hunter's Tale. And we are currently working on Bakshi in his latest outfit, the Snapdragon Club chef uniform. Nearly forgot. Cute, thank you. But yeah, I thought I'd do Crystal and Bakshi, since they are the finalists in the favorite Snapdragon Club character polls at the moment. And I thought, if we have time, then we can do Puro after Bakshi. So I think I made Bakshi's hair like really thick. In a zombie apocalypse, what would Bakshi do? Oh, Bakshi's taking those zombies down. There's no question about it. The zombies are too slow. Bakshi would take them down so quickly. This is, of course, presuming that these zombies are human zombies. And otherwise just, you know, slow, shambling, ground-based zombies. Because if that's what Bakshi's dealing with, then yeah, Bakshi's taking them down so fast. Along with his squad, of course. They would make very short work of them. just drop everything, why don't I? Huge koi, nice. His friends become zombies. Well, there's a lot of qualifiers in there. Or are you saying what would Vakshi do if his friends became zombies? Because if Piro, Akasi, and Mac all became zombies, like, by skill alone, Vakshi would be able to take down Mac, I think. He might have more problems with Piro and Akasi. Because Akasi's got the muscle strength, and Piro is a flyer. And I used the completely wrong dark color for that, but you know what? I'll just work with it. Just decided for me which of these dark colors is gonna go where. The zombies are, but emotionally, if it was eat them or get eaten, what would he do? There's zombie fungi that affects bugs. Yeah. So emotionally, if Akshi's friends turned into zombies, I think he might, like, he would need to default to protecting his hive, because that is his, like, other loyalty outside of his friends is to his hive. So he would be following the hive's orders, whatever they may be. Like, if there was any sort of chance that his friends could be spared, of course he would go for that and spare them for as long as he possibly could. Like, just buy enough time for them to, like, have any sort of cure or vaccine administered to try and change them back. Of course he would do that, but otherwise, yeah, it would he would just default to, my friends are gone, I hate it, but I have to be strong for my, you know, my squad, for my hive, because they're the also people that I have allegiance to. Now, if it were the other way around and say, you know, if it was a zombie fun guy that infects bugs sort of situation, where it was Vakshi and his entire hive got turned into zombies, well, first of all, St. Flora is going to be in huge trouble. Because that is a large swarm of bees. A large swarm of people-sized bees. Yeah, the other three hosts of the club will just have to freaking hunker down, grab anyone they can. They would probably all have to retreat into the Enchanted Forest, as that's probably the easiest way to lose sight of them. And luckily, like, Akasi is a native from the forest, so he could probably, like, help guide them out of the forest if need be. But otherwise, yeah. Let's see. Would he hide his zombie bite? Well, probably not. I think if Vakshi did get bitten, he would show Mac, and he would ask for Mac's opinion about how viable his survival chances are. And that if not, he would trust, you know, Akasi or Mac to put him down. Vakshi is very much willing to sacrifice himself for the sake of those he cares about. That is very much within Vakshi's character. Because him and his hive were raised to be like, what matters is the survival of the whole, not the individual. Like that was how he was raised. once I do a quick background color, we can call this piece done. Okay. And I think this piece is just about done. All right. So here he is. Actually, all done. Ten out of 10. Thank you. I am pretty proud of how this turned out. I kind of made his hair a little bit floofier than I usually do, I feel like. Or at the very least, a little bit messier. I think Vaxi was having a little bit of a bad hair day. Or maybe it was extremely windy outside. His hair just got all floofy. But alright. I think what I'm gonna do is I'll do one last one and then we'll call stream. It's cute. Yeah. He is really cute. Alright, so the last one we're gonna do is Piero. And this is his revamped outfit. No pun intended. But I do like how the colors came out for this one. I feel like it helps him stand out against the blue background a little bit, because he was very much covered in blues when I colored him in last time I drew him for the Actress's Tale, and that made me realize, okay, I think I need to rethink his outfit and his color scheme a little bit. So I think the yellows actually help a bit. I don't want to have, you know, the Has-Been Hotel problem where it's like you have a background that's mostly blue and then you got a character that's all like also mostly blue, and I was like, oh no. Hopefully he stands out just a tad more. Piero baby. Yeah, I've been trying so hard to like think about how I draw him a bit, because he's one of the characters that like I really love him, but for some reason I feel like I like lost the muscle memory for how to draw his hair. So I've been practicing with that for a little bit. Here's a little sneak peek of my little practice that I've been doing. Swoon. You and at least one other person. And thank you, Feather King. In case you're wondering, Feather King is still very much doing well. Yeah, he likes the vaccine picture too. He says hi back. But yeah. Now let's see. What sort of pose to put Piero in? I'm thinking for his background, I might put him inside Nightmare Castle, since that is his home. And it's very rare that I actually draw him inside Nightmare Castle. Also, is my PNG tuber frozen? Hold on a moment. Oh yes, I was frozen today. There we go. Sailor Moon pose. Maybe another time, maybe another time. Alright. But we're good now. Okay. I need to stretch really quick. Stretch my wings. Goodness. So what I think I'm gonna do is, instead of doing a full illustration, I'm just gonna finalize a sketch and then we'll call it. Hope that sounds good for everybody. outside of my desk. It's fine. There's just a risk of the Borbs adding it to their nests whenever I do that. They just go, oh, free stick. And then they pick it up in their little beaks and then just fly off with it. Because sometimes they're mischievous little scamps. They're building log cabins. Yeah, they really are. always like drawing Piero and Alden just because they're always so over the top with like how they wish to present themselves. And of course, Piero absolutely gets it from Alden. All the theatrics, all the I'm so fabulous sort of vibes. thinking this is about as close to a good sketch. And with that, I think I'll call it for today. Well, I'm glad you like it. You're probably just happy you stole one of my pencils, didn't you? Anyways, thank you all so much for coming. As I mentioned in my posts, there will be no Friday stream this week, but we will continue next Tuesday. As usual, if you enjoy my artwork and if you enjoy seeing these characters, if you are interested in seeing stories about these characters, I hope you'll consider checking out the Snapdragon Club series. As I've stated before earlier in the stream, they're available both on Tumblr from the links in my channel page, or they're also available in comic dub form on this channel. And if you're not sure where to start, personally, I recommend The Hunter's Tale first. Just because it is a very straightforward story, and it is complete. There's 3 videos in total. Hold on one second. Hey! Excuse me. So handsome. But, yeah. So in The Hunter's Tale, you'll get to meet Crystal. Or if you're interested in seeing Bakshi, you can start with the first comic that I've ever done publicly, which is the grand opening comic. You won't be wearing this outfit, unfortunately, but you'll get to see what led up to the grand opening of the Snapdragon Club. And any feedback you have, whether it be in the comment section or anywhere, will be greatly appreciated. And if you're looking forward to more art and stories from me, I hope you consider leaving a like, comment, and subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. And if you have already, thank you very much. And if you're feeling super duper generous, we do have the Ko-fi link right up there in the corner. From there, you can buy me a boba. You can become a visitor of Sanctus and get a borb attributed to your name that shows up at the beginning of every stream. And we also have stickers available in the Ko-fi shop, where yes, you can get Bakshi, or you can even get Crystal. With both of her shields. Or you can get Piero. All of them are very adorable, very high quality stickers. And of course, we also have the Harpy stickers available as well as my board form, my princess board form. So these are all available. And even if you don't get any stickers, there are free Borb emotes available in the shop as well. So yeah, with that being said, thank you all for joining me. Plaster your homes and stickers by all of them. Thank you for the endorsement, Kana. But yes, thank you all for joining me, and I hope to see you guys next Tuesday. We will more than likely be continuing drawing more characters from the Snapdragon Club series. So hope to see you guys then. Have a great week, everybody. Bye. Bye.